and from the bottom of our hearts, we thank ye for being here with us. Tonight, in this most hallowed space, the Globe Theatre, in London, England, in the year of our Lord 1591, we, the Lord Chamberlain's Players, are proud to present to you a brand new play by the world's greatest living playwright, Mr. William Shakespeare! I see ye knowest the master's work. Think of his earlier efforts, King Lear, Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, contemptuous drivel, compared to the play that he has prepared for ye tonight. And yet, I alone cannot such wonders do. Therefore, we need a mighty band of players! And so, at once to our task, anon be gone, you actors, into the murky mists of the... No, wait, stay some of you. Methinks our audience tonight is of a high level of intellect and perspicacity, and does so know the master's instincts that they could tell things about these characters without us saying it first. To test this hypothesis, let us play a game, shall we? Audience, cast thine eyes upon this gentle here, and tellest me, what thinkest you the playwright has given him as his most ardent ambition in life? Just shout it.
Be king.
Yes, he doth wish to be king. Cast thine eyes on that lady there, or should I say, this lady fair, and thinkest you of which of her innumerable personal qualities is she most proud? Her hair, indeed, that is true. Thou knowest the master Shakespeare well. And finally, this gentleman. He doth greatly regret a thing in his past. What think you that be?
Murder.
Yes, he greatly regrets a murder. My friend, there's nothing like comedy. Sit ye back, prepare to enjoy a tale replete with
A man who wishes to be king.
A woman who is very proud of her hair.
A man who regrets murder.
Ah, what thinkest you the title of the play is?
Macbeth.
Say that again.
Macbeth?
Macbeth.
Part two.
Part two. Yes. Stick with a winner. My friends, enjoy Macbeth Part 2.
Brother, I have a letter here.
Oh, be it from father?
Yes, he writes,
That he has made me king, nay.
nay, brother, let me read it to thee. Thou always thinkest that thou art ready to be king, but thou hast much to learn, brother. No, it tells of Fabrizio. Fabrizio is to come back here after his many journeys on the road.
Fabrizio?
Yes.
Do come back. Oh, my dear sister, Macbethany. This doth be a tragedy.
Nay, nay, brother, not a tragedy. For rememberest thou, when we were young, I, a girl pimpled and pockmarked, no one would cast an eye on me, but Fabrizio was my forever true friend. And dost thou think he still thinks of me as such? I am no longer a young girl of 14, but a blossomed woman, a princess.
Thou hast blossomed into a woman much fair, and I'm sure Fabrizio has cast his eye upon thee. But my biggest worry is that here on the royal palatial estate that our father doth love Fabrizio as much as thee, and if he is to come about again, he would wish him to be his heir.
Ah, that's right, Fabrizio.
Fabrizio!
Fabrizio!
Oh, Fabrizio, 'tis so good to see thee. Thou look a little different than I last saw thee.
My journeys were quite troublesome. Please, fetch me the air. The garden here looks different.
Fabrizio, be I the crown prince and my sister princess, we do not fetch mead for any. Servantess! Servantess!
Yes, my lord.
The finest mead for Fabrizio.
My lord.
My troubles have been very troublesome.
Fabrizio, notice thou my face? 'Tis clear.
Thou art a beauteous sight for eyes as such and sore as mine.
When I saw thy letter, I thought, many things thou must have seen, many things thou must have done.
Aye.
My lady, my lord, dost thou wish anything else from me?
Come back later.
I will, my lady.
Thank thee.
Fabrizio, it seems in thy many travels thou hast many damage and worn hast become.
Aye.
Thy knee, it be of a limp.
A battle had ensued. A battle that was quite unexpected.
Father did not write of this in his letter.
Nay, for father, he himself is returning momentarily, but I came to tell thee and thee that regrettably my hands have been stained with blood.
What?
'Twas not the point of the battle that thou killed the enemy.
I have killed the king's brother
Oh!
by accident.
Uncle.
My uncle! How has this come to occur, Fabrizio?
During the midst of battle, arrows shooting past our heads, lances flying, spears thrusting. And then, in the midst of chaos, I pulled out my sword, plunging towards a man with whom I had not yet recognized from the back, stabbed him thusly, pulled the blade out. He turned around, and it was your uncle, for he hath donned a gown out of the cloak of the enemy.
Fabrizio, thou wouldst stab a man in the back? Be friend or foe, that be great cowardice.
Aye, but in the midst of battle, such rules may not apply when one is in such a state of fear and turmoil.
Where be Fabrizio, slayer of my brother the king?
Father, thou hast returned. Oh, Father, Father.
Your Majesty,
Hey,
I offer you my sword as penance. I offer you my sword, and I beg of thee for forgiveness, for I have not meant to kill thy brother.
Father, hear this true. He brings the news that thy brother had turned on thee.
Aye,
He fought for the other side.
Be this true?
like fire this doth burn my throat as these words be expressed. For aye, this be true, and I have the parchment that he had adorned himself with, a piece of it.
Aye, 'tis my brother's character. In that case, Fabrizio, I love you. And
My lord.
I have no greater wish than to see you married to my Macbethany.
What?
Thus, that you shall be the next king.
My father, I shall reign as king upon your land when, of course, in 1,000 years when you have no longer been able to breathe breath, I and my beautiful queen
Queen.
make me proud.
Father!
I call me father, for thou art the son I would wish for had I a true one of my own.
Father!
What joyous news!
Thou dost have a son, and he be I.
I have a son, a frail and weak and cowardly thing that, like a fleck of moisture, canst the finger of fate flar flung.
Father, I know these robes be slimming, yet I be a man of great muscularity and strength.
Come, compare thee to my Fabrizio. Hast thou an arm to match the steel arm that doth adorn the majestic chest of this lion brave?
At least my arm did not stab in the back on uncle.
An uncle who would betray your father. Tell me, while this brave man was in the bloody...
Come again, Father.
Oh God, be me not mad. Be me not losing my ability. Oh, madness creeps its petty case within my mind, but this I shall disguise from them, and consider myself every inch the father I once was.
Listen to father, brother, for he truly has the strongest mind of us all.
Where were you when this brave man was in the battlefield?
Well, at what time was thou battling? For at 8 I was taking a bath. 9:30 I
The
had
feast.
a feast.
And then the second feast.
The second feast.
Father, brother, these words need not be spoken of, for I am honored to serve the kingdom, and I look upon him as a younger brother with whom I shall protect, no matter what.
Your Majesty.
Husband,
Mother.
My wife.
you have left the room to bed, like what I have told thee thee must do.
Is she not beautiful?
How dost thou feel?
I intemperate, my love.
Sit,
Aye.
sit, my husband.
Knowest thou that I have given my permission for the fair Fabrizio to wed Macbethany?
Mother, isn't it joyous news? I no longer have the pockmarks on my face. I can be married.
It is early to call me mother. You are not yet my daughter.
Now who be mad?
Son, may we have a word in privacy?
Nay, stay, what mean you she be not your daughter?
I thought that we had discussed this in another chamber.
She means because
Macbeth,
as my stepmother, she hath never truly taken me as her own daughter.
Be this the meaning behind thy words?
And my half-brother here, she loveth fully, and
Oh,
me
I-
she thinks a usurper.
Thou art confused easily, my husband.
Then straighten out my mind.
My daughter, my stepdaughter, has not really ever fully engaged in our relationship. And I do not want you to marry this boy.
What? Dare you set your tongue in defiance to my will?
As always. For
Now-
let us be truthful now, dear husband, for it is I who truly wears the crown in this family.
What be this? How darest thou speakest of me in front of these people?
Thy mind is feeble. Dost thou think thou can fool everyone?
Listen not to her. My mind be as
Good.
you shall regret this.
Ah, and what dost thou think that I shall do?
I shall at once banish this son from my kingdom's lands. Father, from now on you are no son of mine. I hate thee as I do hate a pestilence.
Nay, Father. Why? These many years all I did want was to serve thee and to one day become thy heir.
Blame your mother.
Well, fine, so be it. I should a different kingdom discover and take control of, and mayhaps I should, like thy brother, take up arms against thee and usurp thou and thou.
Not me, brother.
Nay, you're fine. Good riddance to thee.
Father, be not concerned for the quarrels which we have just witnessed, for
Thou,
time will tell.
Fabrizio,
Aye.
he is not truly thine father until we are wed.
This be true. Forgive my assumptions.
Good Fabrizio, a word with my daughter, if I may.
Of course.
Father, thou might play it well, but I see thy mind is troubled. I see thine eyes, usually so clear, seeing everything as clear as the ocean blue, and today they are clouded.
Aye, no clouds can efface the sun when it doth shine upon the brightness of thy skin, which has cleared up quite nicely.
Thank you.
Dear girl, 'tis true, I am afeard my mind be addled. Madness creeps towards me.
Father, is there anything that I can do to help you?
I marry Fabrizio. And when he is the king, murder him.
Murder him?
So that you, Macbethany, my one accomplishment in life, shall sit upon the throne in full control of land and realm, no longer beseeched or besotted by anyone above thee.
When you had me educated in all of the courtly manners, I thought I had only been included because my brother, but I see now that you have always planned for this.
Nay, Macbethany, know this, I like girls better than boys.
Father, murder, that is a large price to pay for power.
Do you know, my brother did not betray me. Fabrizio did murder him upon my instruction.
What?
Aye, 'twas a stratagem twixt he and I, but I shall play him false as petty minstrels do their ill-tuned parts, and thou shalt step by step ascend the throne, so that when I upon my deathbed rattle, spittle falling down my chin, and all my blame bleed grown, my last sight shall be Macbethany upon the throne.
What large shoes to fill, Father.
I will buy you new ones.
I must go now. Look in the mirror and imagine myself as queen.
Her Majesty has requested the room.
Husband,
There was a time when I did love thee well.
I do not agree. For thou hast thought that thee were loving me well. But indeed, I'd rather be swimming in well.
'Tis true at times one must be cruel to be kind. Who knows what haps when murder lurks behind?
Son,
Methinks, Your Highness, may I be so bold?
bold you may be. You have been my lady for these 22 years.
I believe your husband may not be all he states to be.
Details, woman.
There be no witches here, but he calls upon them for some reason. At night, he pulls my hair.
Does he want to lay with thee?
No, I don't believe it is that. I believe that he is plotting and twisting and trying to make your lady believe that he is not all there.
You think it that his poor memory and lack of wordage is but an act?
I suspect it.
Well, then, dear one, this means that my plan that I must engage my son in is even more important at this point. Please, go get my son. Right away.
Oh!
Her Majesty wishes to see you.
Mother,
Sweet home, sweet
is
home,
all around?
sweet homes! My dear son, you know that I have always favored you above your sister as she be, but in step only.
Mother, you make that plain.
And it is you that I wish to see on the throne, not her.
I know, and I deserve it too.
And if my father were not around and I became queen, I would name you my heir.
Mother, you would do this for me?
Oh, son, you know that I would do anything at all that you wanted. So don't marry her. Instead, take this vial, and when you share a drink, a mead with your father, open and put in his cup, and let him drink and be out of his misery. For your father is insane, as you know. And if he dies a very painless death that should only take a few hours, then you shall be king, son. And I shall be so happy to serve under you.
Mother, I may hate my father, but patricide? That'd be a sin. And cowardly at that.
Then I guess if you shall not do it, I must.
Mother, you should not. You know that I do wish to be king, more so than anything else, but...
Then prove it, son. Your father has not been a good father. Your father has not been a good husband. And now he is mad. At night, when we lie in our bed, he doth hurt me and hit me. It's awful. Oh, son, it's awful. He's terrible to me.
Mother, where?
See these bruises?
Your stockings are quite
Oh,
fine.
they're under there. They really are. He's horrible. Oh, son, you must protect me. I'm so weak and I am so fragile. You know how I am. Thou must do what is right for me.
That coward who would hit a woman such as my mother?
He is mad and brutal, son. Oh, please. Do this for your loving mother.
Mother, I shall take this vial, and my father I should kill.
I love you too.
Carlos, thou art still here. I am so glad that thou hast not left. I know father does not want thee in this kingdom any longer, but thou should know, I want thee to be a part of this kingdom always and forever.
Miss Bethany, you've gotten what you wish. Thou hast courted Fabrizio and will become queen one day. So, thou expect me to be your loyal servant? Is that it?
Yes, brother, I do. I expect thee to be my loyal servant always and forever, as we were born to be each other's. When we were young, in those classes, hours and hours, the governess did teach us things. The tutors came. They taught us about politics. They taught us about romances. They taught us about histories. They taught us how to be good rulers. And I had always carried my sword for thee, brother, and I would expect thee to do the same for me.
And yet, methinks it is my sole place on the throne, and not to be shared with thee.
'Tis too late, brother. I am to be wed, and the king shall be Fabrizio, my husband.
Thou art to be wed, thou art not currently wed. Time there still does linger.
What sayest thou, that things might change before my wedding?
Many a thing I have sheltered from thee, good sister McBethany.
Carlos, the look in thine eyes is different. Thou art not acting like the brother I know thee to be.
Didst you not just witness our father banish me from this court? And my threat to him? Where were thine ears, sister?
Patience is required in these situations, brother. One cannot simply say everything one wishes to say in these situations. One must act with temperance. One must look to the future ahead and plan. And brother, I plan for thee. I plan for thee to be Fabrizio's right-hand man. He is your friend, is he not?
At a time when we were children, we did play together in the royal courtyard. Much merriment did we have with our thrusting of sticks at each other. But now he has cast war upon me with his endowment to thee, to be thy husband. There could only be one king, sister, and it should be I.
I feel sorry for thee, brother. I feel sorry for the friendship that we once had. Because know this, I want thee to be a part of the court.
I shan't be a part. I should be the whole thing.
What be thy banished trunk here within my domain?
Go, brother. Thou hast been banished.
Father, this still be my homestead, and many a thing I did have to collect from this courtroom, such as my shoes and many robes. I have a plentiful amount.
Perhaps you and I have not said our final words one to the other. Good McBethany, might I and your brother have the room?
Your Majesty,
Seest thou this crown?
it be plainly in thy hands.
Dost thou know its weight?
I have held it many a times.
Hast thou felt it on thy brow?
Nay, not yet.
Sit thee on that throne.
Father, dost thou wish to make a joke of me? Oh, 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 oh.
I did not expect that noise. The weight that thou feelest on thy most fragile brow is the weight of all the souls within the kingdom, all the hopes, all the fears, all the merry little entanglements that mortal life does entangle us within, all rests upon the whim of the king. Hast thou the fortitude to bear such weight?
Father, from childhood, you have many a governess come to teach my sister and myself the ways to be the king one day.
You wear it not well. What be that vial in your hand?
It be one of a celebratory sort. I wish to share with you upon your return from battle today, for I thought that you would me, thy heir apparent, do claim. And yet, such a thing did not occur, so this vial I cannot share with you.
I do wish it.
Well, it shan't be yours unless you say I'm the king.
You shall not be the king, but if you wish to part with me, so at least thy soul may heaven ascend upon thy death, I demand thou givest me some of that drink.
If you really wish for it, Father, I see your lips be much pursed from your blithering and blathering.
Yes, that is true. It is a color of what I know not.
Aye, it be a new one, called Flurple.
Flurple. I have heard of a bloom that doth within the orchard grow called flurple. Oh, 'tis astringent.
I did not myself brew it, Father, but it is said to be divine.
Divine.
Blessed by the monks, of course, as is all drinks that you should to drink.
To show then, son, that you and I do not part completely one apart from the other, I shall enjoy this drink. And yet I wonder, could it be a slow-acting poison? Nah.
How is its taste?
Like chicken. I thank thee for this goodwill, son. Thou hast at least a digit of the soul of a man.
And yet, am I still banished?
Aye.
Then, for one last time, I bid you adieu, Father. Aptly said. What have I done? My father I have just slain. Why? Well, mother did say that he would beat her in the night, and yet a part of me thinks that this be not true, and yet at the same time my mind be clouded by the many events of the day. If only I were to have some counsel. By the servantess, she do know many things. She has traveled the world far and wide, from all the way, from England town to Scotland, to Norway, to that one with the people who speak weird, with their tongues like her.
Oh, my lord, I interrupt your presence.
Nay, servantess,
Your lord.
many a times thou hast given me advice so fair, and yet again I ask this of thee.
My advice, in which language would you prefer it?
English is good.
Very well then, for sometimes you do wish it in that funny language.
Aye, but this be a serious matter.
Indeed. My lord, advice on matters of the heart, or matters of the soul, or matters of tailoring, which of these do you prefer?
In a way, it do encapsulate all three.
Well then, when I did travel to Norway.
Ooh, a story.
Yes. I do enjoy it when you like my stories. When I did travel to Norway, I was but this tall.
Ooh.
I did but carry a small bag.
Ah.
And there I met a man with a large beard. And he invited me into his small home. And inside his home, he did have things made of wood.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, that's Norwegian.
Everything made of wood. He did give me a special drink to drink. And after I drank this drink, I awoke from a strange dream. And this dream did entail that I became very small and entered tiny holes and came out from people's pores of their skin.
Oh.
And strangely, this gave me the perspective that I have today, which is that everything shall pass. That which seems most horrific in the moment shall become small. And those things that are very tiny shall become very large. So that troubles you this day, my lord, shall eventually dissipate.
Carlos, pardon the intrusion, miss. Have you seen the king?
I have, Fabrizio.
Well, when might he be? Quickly!
What troubles thee?
It appears that there might be treachery amidst us.
Oh, nay! What thinkest thou of this?
Word of treachery, word of... What?
Father has collapsed.
Oh, no! Say this not!
Oh, he is alive. Worry not.
Alive?
But the king, he is sick. He is unwell in bed. He has not spoken. Blood did pour from his mouth. And thou would not wish to smell what came from his backside. But he is sick and in bed. He seemed not to even recognize my face.
Oh dear.
Oh, how terrible this be. Go on.
We must wish for the king's most quick recovery.
Oh dear. You are so clearly troubled, my lord.
Join us all now in claiming fealty to our father, the king.
What be this liquid on the ground, a single drop? This be poison made from the bullberry.
Art thou sure? I thought it be father's dribble.
Father had drank poison. And the only place that he hath been last was here, standing before thee.
What sayest thou, Fabrizio?
I sayest that thou hast poisoned my king, out of jealousy, for he hath banished thee.
He is not dead yet.
Such a bold claim doth leap from thy tongue, and yet thy proof be only a dribble upon the ground?
Father be on a bed with wheels. Perhaps I shall bring him forth, even though he does speak in...
This be not necessary.
Father, be that the one who hath poisoned thee.
Oh, good servant. I think he do speak that funny tongue. Perhaps thou should translate what he do say. And that he should say that I am innocent of such things, good servant.
Nay, he put thusly.
He said, my son would never do such a thing. He said, thou speakest of most cruel things. He did say that you should be king.
No, for thou, must tell ye all something. We have already been wed.
Aye, in secret.
We did away just 20 minutes ago to the chapel where we are married.
Not to the chapel of Las Vegas.
Yes.
Aye.
Oh dear, what happens there always does stay there.
It does. We plan to keep that secret. But with all of this terrible news, we wish to bring some stability to the nation, and we are intending to step up in Father's sickness.
Oh, a fleeting moment of lucidity has come to me. And knowest thou that this accusation be a right? This foul son within my sight did a vial of poison take, and of his father a dread corpse make.